Hello, you beautiful soul. You and I are going to take a nice little hike together, and I'm going to give you some valuable insight on things that might be going on in your life. And this is going to help you to feel so much better, give you some liberation, give you some direction and some guidance, and set you on the right energetic path. So you might have come to the realization that you don't want anything in this world. I mean, of course, we all want our creature comforts, but you may have reached a point in your life where you have no idea what you want to do, comma, you feel in your heart that there's nothing that you want to do. You're like, yeah, I know there's a whole world of things to do, but none of them are calling to me. I don't really love anything. I don't really love the idea of doing any of it. We've all got an endless and infinite list of things that we could be doing. And some of us reach a point in our lives where none of it appeals to us. There's nothing that appeals. This is different than apathy. I'm not talking about apathy. I'm not talking about, yeah, whatever. There's no point to anything. I'm not talking about nihilism. I'm not talking about apathy. I'm talking about you're perfectly content. There's a feeling of okayness, but you would like to be doing something. However, you don't want to do anything, comma, there's nothing in the world that excites you enough to get you moving. So you're like, yeah, I wish I had a passion. I wish I wanted to do something. I would love to have a passion. I would love to have a purpose. And so you're waiting for this magic feeling inside your heart to get going. You're like waiting for some magic pull in the outside world to pull you. And so you're not making any choices. And this is not a bad place to be. So right now you're in a limbo. You're in limbo. And what has brought you to this place of being in limbo is the fact that you are growing. Your soul has evolved. So your soul has evolved to such a place that you're not fooled anymore by the fact that something out there is going to satisfy this deep itch, but your mind hasn't gotten on track. See, your mind's still looking out there, thinking, I should be doing something out there to make me feel whole. So you're feeling a discontent. You could call it a divine discontent. That's a term. Divine discontent. This is different than just normal human suffering. There's a divine discontent. I want to be doing something, yet nothing in the world calls to me. Yet I know I want to be doing something, and it's this circle. So your soul has outgrown the silly childish games of believing that doing things in the world will fill and satiate the divine discontent. So what do we do about this? There's different layers to the answer to this. And the good news is it's very simple. So the first thing is there is nothing in the world that can bring you a sense of wholeness and completeness. This is something you may have heard a million times, but I'm going to go ahead and this is just your reminder. And your mind says, wait, but what about? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's the most perfect, altruistic, charitable acts. Those are all very, very good. But even those, you can get trapped. So it doesn't matter your job, your roles, what you do in the world. None of it is going to scratch that itch of needing to know your wholeness. There's nothing in the world that can do that. And so we have to come to the realization, first and foremost, to get our mind on the program. There is nothing in the world that will bring me a sense of completeness. Nothing. Try as you may, try as you might. And the ego's trick is to get you thinking, okay, but what about, how about this? How about this? How about this? Make it bigger, make it more generous, make it more beautiful, make it more opulent, make it more abundant. Let's throw some gold shellac on it. Let's pile on the lip gloss on this thing. How about now? And it still will always be no. There is nothing in the world that will ever satisfy your need to know directly your sense of wholeness. It might get you a little, it could be spackling for a little while. It could give you a little sense of novelty, getting a new job, having kids, getting married, getting a house, getting more income, getting a fancy art project going, mastering a craft. These are all great things, but none of it can make you whole because you're already whole. So that's the divine discontent, is don't miss the nose on your face. Don't go looking for a nose to put on your face. You've already got one. So that's first step. You're not going to find wholeness out there ever. So what do we do then? Do we just sit around and say, there's nothing in the world that's going to complete me? I'm just going to sit here in the lotus position and pray. No, that's not what we do. That's not what God would have us do. That's not what the divine universe would have us do, the divine beloved. What we are to do is first and foremost abide in the wholeness. There's nothing to add or take away. You are perfect and whole. The reason that you don't want to do anything is because you already know you're whole at a certain level. However, like I said, the whole thing's not on board yet. So you're making the mistake of thinking, okay, well, I better make a choice. I better find something that will make me feel whole. But you already know you're whole, so you haven't made a choice because nothing's satisfying you, nothing's pulling you. And so that's a good place to be, like I said. But now what? Abiding in the wholeness, abiding in it in a real experiential way. This is not a thought process. This is an actual experiential knowing. You are whole, complete, and perfect. Nothing to add to it, nothing to take away. You are perfect as you are. There's nothing out there that can make you any more perfect or whole. Now to the conundrum of, what do I do? I want to do something. I don't want to just sit here in the lotus position. What happens is, those of us who are awake and aware spend an awful lot of time. You could waste a whole lifetime looking for this feeling of wholeness out there. So you're looking for an outside thing to land into your heart, mirroring the feeling of home. Doesn't work like that. When you come home to your heart, then the things that give you a little bit of interest, you carry that home to whatever projects you're working on. You carry that sense of home to wherever you go. You carry that sense of home to your day-to-day life. What we do is we don't look to the external actions to complete us. However, we look to bring ourselves to anything that moves the needle, even just a little bit. So you're not looking for fireworks. So that you're not wasting your life looking for fireworks out there. You know the fireworks are already happening in here. And if nothing in the outside world is calling your name and making you feel alive, that means that it's not out there. There's nothing out there. Those fireworks you're looking for, they have to happen here. In the meantime, you're looking for little embers that you have to start on the outside world. So that means anything that moves the dial even a little bit. You've got the fireworks in here, you're throwing some embers on there. Embers means attention. Embers means focus. Embers means spend some time. So you're going around day by day, paying attention to what moves your needle just a little bit. Your energetic needle, what moves it? Just 2%. That's it, just 2%. Give that a little bit of attention. And then eventually you'll find something that moves the needle. But if you're somebody who, again, if you're awake and aware and nothing in this world is making you feel like fireworks, that's because you're misunderstanding the whole thing. You've misunderstood life. I personally have experienced this throughout my life. The fireworks are not out there for me. There's nothing in this world that brings me that sense. So I spent a long time, a lot of my life, looking for fireworks, being like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? Looking for something to make me feel like those fireworks inside. And I was like, I guess I just don't ever have, I don't have one. I'm not destined to have a purpose. I guess I'm not destined to do anything great in this world. There's things I love, a long list of things that I adore. The list would, I could give like an hour-long TED talk about the things that I love, the things that really thrill me, but I couldn't tell you for the longest time of what I should be doing, what I should be doing, until I realized, oh, the fireworks that I'm looking for, these ephemeral fireworks that I had in my head, this idea of what it would feel like to find a purpose. Once I realized during my spiritual awakening that they're in here. I misunderstood the whole thing. There is nothing in the world that can make me feel the way that I thought it was going to make me feel. The thing I was looking for is that which is within. We can call it the divine beloved. We can call it your soul. We can call it the Atman. We can call it Heavenly Father. That's what you're looking for. And the language is just a pointer, by the way. Who cares about the language? Who cares about the ideologies? I'm talking about the actual experiential knowing. So, to wrap it all up, if you don't know what you want to do, congratulations. Congratulations. Because guess what? There's no great master that ever lived who took any great pleasure in, who took real, true, deep satisfaction in a job, like a career, like you can't name one. It was all just in here. The kingdom of heaven has always been within. It is always going to be within. And the great masters all knew that. So that divine discontent that you're experiencing, that's just a call to go within. And then you bring that out into whatever you're pursuing. And it doesn't really so much matter at that point. I mean, everything you do matters so much, but not the way your ego thinks. Your ego's thinking, oh, we better find that thing that's going to make us feel complete. It's got the whole thing twisted. Everything you do matters in that it's bringing that spark out into the world, you see? But nothing you do matters in the way that the ego thinks. Nothing you do matters in the way that it's going to make you feel complete. It's going to bring you a sense of wholeness. It's going to fix you. Because you're not broken. You're already complete. You don't need fixing. So just get out there and just try things and see what moves the dial a little bit. Add the embers, add your flame to whatever it is you're doing, and maybe it hits and maybe it doesn't. And you might spend the rest of your life kind of enjoying some of the things you do, but really only ever feeling true love within, in your relationship within yourself. And that's, what else could you wish for? What else could you possibly want? You're living in here. Your house is here all the time, 24/7. And what better gift to give yourself than, hey, I'm always great in here. There's nothing out there to complete me because I'm always great in here. There's no career out there that's going to make me feel more whole. Guess what? Careers end. And you might enjoy a lustrous career. You might stumble upon something you really, really love, or you might not. Either way, the kingdom of heaven is within. So I hope that helps. All this to say, you're in a really good spot. Really. If you're in this place right now in your life, this is a good place to be. You're growing up. In the best way possible. If you enjoyed this talk, you might enjoy coming to my community, and you might also enjoy the roadmap. I've created a roadmap that you can access at my website, brendaturner.com. It's on the very top of the homepage. It says get a customized roadmap. So if you'd like a roadmap to get you to your highest self, go to brendaturner.com, fill out the 3-minute questionnaire, and that'll get you to the appropriate workbook that'll give you all the tools that you need to access this higher wisdom, your higher self. I love you, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video.